To-do 1 is to finish the fountain room ceiling. We're not going to touch that today, because to-do 2 is to add the bookshelves and the water. Now, that is in the library, which I've done a little bit of work in. I have added more space to the ceiling. I have put in little dirt bookshelves to show where I would like my bookshelves. And I put this here, which is a temporary feature. I will explain why in a moment. But if we quickly jump down here, you can see we've got a kind of mini corridor. I think I spoke about this in my last video. Let me have a look. Did I speak about this in my last video? It wasn't my last video, it was the video before. I'm just looking at... Oh, I'm interrupting myself. I'm just looking at my video that I made. How long ago? A month ago? And yeah, I mentioned it then, that I wanted to have a weird, almost, not quite honeycomb, but a chessboardy effect in the walls. And I've added that in here. And I've decided, I don't know if I decided it then or if it was a more recent development, I can't remember how my brain works, but I've decided that I will be having water coming all the way down here. What else is there that is new? Oh yes, this walkway. This walkway will look very different at some point. I will probably get rid of it in its current state, but it exists at the moment, so I can put the water behind the walls. But eventually, it will exist so that pardon me, it will eventually exist so that I can have a nice kind of walkway going all the way around. I might have some entrances in the upstairs walls to this balcony walkway area. Reminds me a bit like Luigi's Mansion 2, the Gloomy Manor library in that game. But this idea only came to me because, and I'll put an image on the screen now, when I was digging this out, it kind of looked like there was a balcony on that floor, and I thought, oh, that would be quite a nice addition, which is why that will at some point look like that. Now, it won't take me long, oh dear, there we go, to put the bookshelves in, because I don't have many. I need to go on the hunt for leather and get more books. At the moment, I only really have... Well, oh, it was my pumpkin. I thought I saw something out the corner of my eye then. I only have the space... Not the space, sorry, the resources for 4 bookshelves at the moment. But already, that just spruces the place up. It'll look much, much better when it's all bookshelves. But the main thing to do is the water, which I meant to prepare and I didn't. So let's make... Oh, I already have a bucket of water. Oh, I didn't actually know I had that. That's handy. Right, for now I'll borrow some water from my fountain. Doesn't it look all sad? Well, it kind of works. But now I'll put the water back shortly. But I just want to get all this water nicely filled in. I'm hoping that this will look quite nice. We will see. The first thing to do is make sure I have infinite water, and I'll do that like so. Can I not get water like... No, I can't. I thought that I'd be able to get water from the middle section, and oh dear, it's... Of course it's leaking. I need to dig this out another block. Drat. Well, I'll do that after... No, I won't do that after the video, because I'll need to refill all the water in that case. I'll do that now. Oh, that's a pain. It won't take long. Look, I'm about a quarter of the way done already. I imagine this will be quite a short video, because I don't have much time to do videos. Oh, for goodness sake, I knew that was there. I fell down like that again. Sorry, earlier, when digging this part out. And I filled it in, but then obviously I needed to dig that away. Right, let's try that again. There we go. Absolute death trap is my house. Right. There we go. That's what we want. And then the other side. Oh, by the way, over here is where I want to have a kind of not the grandest of staircases, but another staircase going even further down. That'll probably connect up with whatever will be here. I don't know what will be here, but something will be here. I may well end up putting some fences in this. Well, not fences, some gates in this fence. Maybe pop a ladder. I don't know. That it may end up being a skylight. It may end up being another route. I'm not altogether sure. I am yet to decide. But see, this isn't taking terribly long. There we go. This video will be done in no time at all. I mean, oh, that could have been a problem. It's nice to be able to record again. I've just finished my school placement, which was absolutely lovely. The last day especially was absolutely fantastic. Right, I might as well just dig this away with my shovel. I'll put that torch back later. For now, I'll just put some torches here and there. I probably will put them on all four and keep it that way. That works. There we go. Isn't that nice? Sorry, what was I doing? Yes, I was making a quick infinite water source. Nearly there. There we go. I do like a good pool. This won't be kept as a pool, but it is quite cool. And I'll put that fence back now. But yes, I was just saying I finished my second school placement, my longest placement yet. And I like the way that looks. That is going to be quite effective, I reckon. You know what, and I will craft some more buckets. I'll have my hotbar filled with buckets. I think that'll make my life easier. But I finished my school placement. It was good fun for the most part. The teacher annoyed me at times who I was with, but not massively. She definitely is hard working. And what, I've got 6 so far, so I'll need another 3. There we go. So, sorry about that cut. Yes, speaking of my placement, there was one kid, and it was absolutely lovely, warmed my heart, who said that, who one day said to me, "Miss, your handwriting's improving," and that was lovely. He was one who I could make laugh, and there were quite a few who were like, "I don't want you to go. You're a nice teacher, and you're funny." And I said, "Don't call me a nice teacher. I take great umbrage at that. I'm a horrible person." It was all good fun, and the last day was fantastic. I was teaching them all about how to use a dictionary. They were year 2, so quite young, and it was really good fun. They were well, the lesson started. It was one that I made myself. Most of them were from schemes, but I made this lesson myself. So I started out by getting them to one by one say each letter of the alphabet going around the class. So one child would go A, the next would go B, the next would go C, and so on and so forth. And then after that, pardon me, then after that, they were in charge of kind of, oh, I remember, sorry, I know that this story is going in bits, but I am multitasking, doing this job and talking. So the next thing that they needed to do was tell me what the next letter after a certain letter was. So if I put A on the board, they would say B, and most of them were able to do that. And then the really tricky thing for them to do, so I just making sure I filled all of those blocks in. The most difficult thing for them to do, one that would have been difficult for me, was to say, right, here's a letter, tell me the letter that comes before. Which, obviously, we don't think about the alphabet in that direction usually, so that was quite a tricky task. There we go, that looks better. You can't see the top of the water. Why am I going through here? And then what I did was I put two words on the board. These were all prepared, like this wasn't spur of the moment. But I would put two words on the board and they had to tell me which one came first alphabetically. And that started off quite easy, and then we went for words that both started with the same letter or started with the same few letters. And at first they were going, oh, they're the same alphabetically, they're exactly the same. And I was able to go like, no, they're not the same. They start with the same letter, so we're going to have to look at the next one. And some of them got that without being told, some of them had to be told. But it was really, really good, really beneficial for them. And then the final part of this lesson, because it was only about 30 minutes we had, was for them to go through a dictionary, and I had 5 words on the board for them to find. The first one was happy, so it was wonderful being able to hear the children go, I found happy, I found happy, and I was able to go, oh, does that make you happy that you found happy? And they were like, yes, it does. And it was amazing. They had a really good lesson. I also had history on my last day, and history went really well. The teacher and I kind of disagreed here. Obviously, the teacher was probably right because she's the professional and I'm not, but they were doing the Tudors, and it was a really boring, really dry lesson. And it was one of those things where they were given the actions of Elizabeth the First and Henry the Eighth in the opposite order. And they had to decide. I knew that was going to happen, and they had to decide whether or not Elizabeth and Henry had made good or bad decisions. So I was explaining the decisions that they had made. I did history at A level, so this was quite beneficial because I was able to give a not overly detailed but a competent account of events. But she said to me afterwards that a lot of what I said, know your audience, that's what she said, know your audience, they're only 6 years old, which isn't true, they're 7. Most of that would have gone over their head. But if I hadn't said what I said, then the children wouldn't have known why the monarchs had acted in the way they did in various situations, and they would have just been guessing. It would have been a pointless lesson. So that annoyed me rather. But never mind. The best part of that lesson she actually missed, and that was a completely off-piece part. Oh no, I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this all wrong. That's... oh, goodness sake. And it was when one of the children was like, didn't King Henry VIII have 6 wives? And I said, yes, he did. And I said to the class, would you like to very quickly learn about King Henry's 6 wives? And they were like, yeah, we do. And so for the next however many minutes, like 15 minutes or so, it wasn't the quickest thing in the world, but I did have over an hour to do this lesson in, so I had time. So I was like explaining the 6 wives of Henry VIII and what happened to them all. I didn't go through the song because of time, but it was really lovely. They were so interested. I had them in the palm of my hand. It was fab. They were a little bit loud. I did have to go, no, if you keep on making that noise, then I will stop telling you about the wives. And they're going, no. And I said, well, it's up to you. But that is the most valuable part of the lesson, because that is what they will remember. That was when, for a change, history became interesting. And it's really upsetting, but normally for these children, because of the schemes of work that they do, history is not an interesting subject. And it's such a tragedy, because history is one of the most phenomenal things you can study. It's great fun. As it turned out, the time I had was reduced because the teacher said, like 15 minutes before she said my time would have been up, oh, we need to get ready for assembly now. And I thought, oh, for goodness sake, couldn't you have told me that earlier? But, still, oh, I'll sort that out later. Still, never mind, it was quite a decent lesson. and the children, I think, got a lot from it. So there's my successful last day of being a teacher. Oh, hang on, let me just do that last block, otherwise that'll annoy me. The fact that even though you can't see it, it's slanted. And then I'll work out what went wrong with those two bits. I imagine I just forgot to dig out something or another. But doesn't it look cool with this water here? Like liquid lapis. I think it's fantastic, especially when you can see things behind it. I will probably at points put corridors on the other side of these water streams. I think that'll look good. Right, let me just replace this water and put some water back up here. How it should be. There we go, look at that. And now I just need to work out what went wrong over here. It's only in this little part. Let's see if I can work it out. No. That's working as it should. That doesn't make any sense. If I put this back, will it stop pouring? No, it won't. That is so bizarre. Well, with that, I'm going to end this video. It wasn't a very good video. I kind of rambled in a worse way than usual, but it's been a long time since I've done a video. It's been something, I think it's been 3 weeks or so since I've done a video. Not since half term, I don't think. Let me look. Maybe it's even been longer. Yeah, not since half term. So, with that, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I'm happy with the progress that has been made in today's video. And have a lovely day. Doodle pip.